This was cruel, Hasbro. You made me wait 2 years to get these two together. From Transformers Studio Series, this is the Bumblebee movie Skywarp, one of the literal hundreds of Seekers we saw in the opening prologue, in which the Seekers were pushing the Autobots off of Cybertron. You can see he's in one of these open plastic boxes, which is great. I like these boxes, makes it so easy to film. There's a picture of him on the front, picture of him on the side. That is a low render there, my word. Okay. Then you got the robot mode and the vehicle mode. Yeah. There he is again. I don't even know what that is. Is that... Look at it. It looks so blurry. I don't know. He was a backgrounder. Maybe they just didn't give him that great a render. But now, why don't we actually open up the box? Getting this guy out of the box, I have two minds on how he looks. For one, he does look a lot better than the photos that we were seeing of him, at least to my eye. On the other hand, it doesn't really look like Skywarp. And just to be clear, I'm not saying the shapes don't look like Skywarp. It's still, at the end of the day, live-action movies. I'm not expecting them to be exactly like the G1 designs. What I'm saying is that the colors don't really look like Skywarp, despite the fact that out of the Seekers, he usually has the best color scheme. Now, you might look at these and say, like, what do you mean? The purple's here. Skywarp isn't primarily purple. Skywarp is primarily black, with purple as a tertiary color. When you look at Skywarp, the first color is the black. The second most prominent color is the silver. Purple is the third most common color on his body. Looking at the new Skywarp, honestly, I'd say a flat gray is his primary color, followed by purple, followed by very few hits of black. They've completely reversed the prominence of colors. That said, even if this isn't exactly a Skywarp color scheme, it is, at the end of the day, a good color scheme, all things considered. The light grays, dark grays, and purples work well together. There's a good breakup of color. And at the end of the day, this color scheme reminds me a lot of specifically Armada Skywarp, which I'm not complaining. I like the Armada designs a lot. Plus, those are some of the bulkiest Seekers out there. With how big and burly the Bumblebee movie Seekers are, if it was intentional, that was a great pull. If it was unintentional, it's a funny coincidence that both of the biggest and strongest looking Skywarps share color sensibilities. Past the color, most of the sculpting here is great. We've already seen it 4 times before with Starscream, Blitzwing, Thrust, and Thundercracker, but it still works here with Skywarp. I love his face mask head sculpt that looks more like a pilot's mask and helmet. I love how his pylons look, the wings, the shoulders. It's a good looking robot mode. Very, very, very different for Transformers. He almost looks more like a Gundam in terms of his proportions, but still a great look. Moreover, he has very solid articulation. Ball joint at the head, universal at the shoulder, that also has a hinge that goes down. You have an upper arm cut, a good single jointed elbow, but it gives you almost full double in terms of range. You have a good swivel here at the wrist, lets you go side to side. You have a wing hinge here, as well as a pivot here. You have a good universal at the hip, a single jointed knee, and then down here we have side to side with the ankle and a little bit of back and forward. We also... Oh, do we not? No, we do. We have waist articulation down here. It was just very stiff on mine. So, a good articulated boy, even if he does have some pretty awkward, lanky proportions. It is very easy to get this guy into a good action pose, almost like he was just landing. It becomes even better if you make use of his accessories. We get 3 guns. 2 of them are just for show. They're supposed to be guns for the vehicle mode. We'll just pop them on the wings. Boop. Come on, if I can get them in. Ooh, they are very tight. There we are. And the same over here. Alright. And then we have the actual proper gun. It looks fine. I've never been big on how the Seeker gun looks inside the movies, but there we go. And now we have an armed Skywarp. I'll be honest with you guys, I was going to skip this figure. I figured, hey, I have Thundercracker, I have Blitzwing, I sold Starscream and Thrust, I don't need another version of this mold. I saw him in store, so I impulse bought him. But I'm happy I did. I'm having a lot more fun with Skywarp than I thought I would, and at the end of the day, it's nice to have another Thundercracker Skywarp duo. Like, I don't know what mental illness this is, where I do just love seeing Skywarp and Thundercracker together always. As many times as I can, I do like to get the pair, just because it tends to work really well on a shelf. Not to mention, Thundercracker's my favorite, so it's nice to have his boyfriend around. Speaking of that boyfriend, here Skywarp is alongside Thundercracker. They look great together. I didn't even notice Skywarp's cockpit is a darker orange than Thundercracker's. That's kind of cool. I don't have Starscream anymore. I packed away Blitzwing, don't have Thrust, so hey, this is gonna be the Seekers for the Bumblebee movie shelf now, and I'm fine with that. They look great together. Yeah, almost all the Bumblebee movies are packed right now, so here he is alongside Concept Series Megatron. Again, looks really good. I love how the Decepticons look in robot mode together. And just because she's the only other Bumblebee movie figure I still have out, here he is alongside RC. And then just because I had them out, here he is alongside the Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus and the original 2007 Deluxe Movie Brawl. I don't know, someone might be into this size comparison. Right, that's enough about robot mode. Why don't we actually pop over and look at vehicle mode? And there's the jet mode. Here's what I'll say. The transformation itself is actually pretty fun. If you're into accordion play, this is awesome. A lot of folding out, a lot of stretching out, good mass conversion here. The only issue is it gets you, well, this. Is it screen accurate? Not really, weirdly enough. In the movie, the Seekers were a lot slicker than this. They didn't have the undercarriage. Is it functional? I mean, it can stand, it can tripod itself. Does it look good? To my eye, no. There might be people out there who really dig this space jet. I am not amongst them. If it wasn't for this, right, if it was just the upper part and not this block down here, yes, because that's basically like the War for Cybertron jet, I would love that. It's just, it's too much. It's too much, it's too alien, and you know what, I'm going to be an aeronautics nerd for a moment. That would not fly. That just straight up would not be able to fly. Look, this is not the best Skywarp toy out there. Far from it. It is really middle of the pack in so many ways. But there is a lot of fun to be had here. Great proportions, really well done articulation, a good transformation, colors that do work even if they're not exactly to my personal taste. It is a solid figure from top to bottom. Not a standout, not a top 10 of the year contender, not even a front row shelfer, but it is good. Besides, it'll probably make Thundercracker happy to have Skywarp back.